The future of fashion is not about technology replacing designers, but about how designers can use technology to create new forms of beauty. A very good morning to one and all. On behalf of Amity School of Fashion Technology, Amity University, Chhattisgarh, we welcome you all to a 5-day professional development program on innovative approaches in fashion system. Fashion can do a lot. Fashion is very popular. So it can help broadcast a message and reach a new generation. This PDP aims to make us all aware of the multifaceted fashion system. Along with this, it also unlocks the door to future possibilities lying in the sphere of innovation in fashion. To begin with today's program, allow me to invite our Honorable Dean, Faculty of Arts and Head, Amity School of Fashion Technology, Professor Dr. Indrani Singh Rai, for the welcome address.
Thank you, Ms. Annie. So very good morning to one and all present here. On behalf of Amity School of Fashion Technology, Amity University, Chhattisgarh, I welcome you all to this 5-day professional development program on innovative approaches in fashion system. The PDP intends to enhance the knowledge of academicians, researchers, industry professionals, and budding designers in the field of fashion design and technology. It will focus on the major innovations in fashion design and technology, fashion trends, textile sciences, sustainable fashion, fashion marketing and management. We express our sincere thanks to our Honorable Founder President, Sir, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, Honorable Chairman, Dr. Asim Chauhan, Honorable Chancellor, Dr. W. Selvamurthy, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Piyush Kant Pandey for their blessings and motivation. We welcome all the esteemed speakers of the PDP and express our profound gratitude for accepting our invitation. Today, we are having with us Professor Dr. Piyush Kant Pandey, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Chhattisgarh, Professor Dr. Apurva Das, Professor, Department of Textile and Fiber Engineering and Institute Chair, Professor, Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. Dr. A.S.M. Raja, Principal Scientist, Textile Chemistry, ICAR, Central Institute for Research on Cotton Technology, Mumbai, and Professor Dr. Vandana Gupta, Professor, Chitkara Design School, Chitkara University, Punjab. I welcome you all. I'm sure that it will be an absolute pleasure and great learning for all the participants to listen to the intellectual minds. I'm very happy to inform you that we are having 225 registrations from almost all the states of India and abroad. We welcome all the participants and express our heartfelt thanks for becoming an integral part of this event. The forum will be opened for the discussion after the expert talks. I believe all of us will be enriched and enhanced with the insightful deliberations of our esteemed guest speakers. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, allow me to invite our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Chhattisgarh, Professor Dr. Piyush Kant Pandey, sir. Very prominent, insightful, motivating, and most humble leader. Under his unparalleled leadership, Amity University, Chhattisgarh is achieving new stature in academics, research, and innovation. During his doctoral program, he was awarded Research Fellowship in Environmental Protection and Formation at Univerzita J.E. Purkenie, Czech Republic, by the Ministry of HRD, Government of India, and the Czech Republic. He also obtained PG Diploma in Management, and later he was awarded PhD Fellow of Management from IIM Indore. His thesis of IIM has focused on legitimation strategies in controversial industries, case study of a tobacco conglomerate. He was the first to identify arsenic and fluoride toxicity in the region of central India. His study team then concentrated on all areas of health, contamination extent, bioaccumulation, polluted water treatment, and contaminated soil remediation, among other things. As a result of these accomplishments, he was appointed as a Government of India regulator and recognized EIA expert. He has served as a member of the Government of India's State Environmental Assessment Committee. He has acted as an expert at the CG Council of Science and Technology. Moreover, Professor Pandey has worked as State Academic Coordinator for the National Children's Science Congress for 2 years. He was also a special invited member of the CG State Planning Commission. He has supervised 24 PhD students along with 25 master students and 27 master's diploma theses. He is a productive researcher who has worked on funded research projects nationally and internationally and has completed 12 research projects. He has worked on major scientific research projects funded by the Technology System Groups of the Department of Science and Technology, the All India Council of Technical Education, New Delhi. He has worked as the Dean of the Indian Institute of Health Management Research, Jaipur. He was also the founder principal of Bhilai Institute of Technology, Raipur, and the founder faculty of Bhilai Institute of Technology, Durg. He has also served as the group director of the LCIT Group of Institutions, Bilaspur, and S. Rungta Group of Institutions, where under his leadership, the groups excel academically and also bagged Academic Excellence Award from the governor of the Chhattisgarh state. His research has resulted in the publication of over 85 standard research papers, all of which have appeared in prestigious peer-reviewed index journals. He has also published 2 books. He upholds the educational philosophy that the complexity of modern education and research propels excellent multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary functioning. May I please request Sir to enlighten the gathering with his words of wisdom.
Yeah, thank you very much, Annie. I hope I'm audible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks. Thanks very much. So, with the kind remembrance of our founder president, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, our chairman, Asim Chauhan sir, our chancellor, Dr. W. Selvamurthy, and in fact, just now hearing Professor Dr. Indrani Singh and Annie Ali, and also my initial talk with Dr. Vandana Gupta, gives me a great pleasure, first of all, to welcome all the participants of this 5-day FDP on a very wonderful topic, which in fact, I feel I take pride in this particular aspect that MIT University Raipur is doing wonders in this particular field. We all know, in fact, of fashion, many people, when you talk to some people, they might say fashion is a thing for the rich people only, or it is maybe for parts of the country when it is a poor. Maybe some people try to take it and look down upon this one. But in fact, what I feel, it is other way around. You try to remember the days when Mahatma Gandhi found the way of fighting the foreign rule of the Britishers by the very simple movement, that is by using the charkha, by the handloom industry. In fact, India was the world leader as far as, if you all remember, India was the world leader as far as the export is concerned, as far as the total earning is concerned. We were the #1 economy for a very, very long time, for many, many centuries. And what were the major products which we used to export? One was, of course, you all know very well, the spices. And the second was the fabric, the various kind of, the various kinds of, the clothing items. In fact, not only the parts of this, our nearby countries, all over world, India was a major exporter. And that was the, that was the reason India was the dal par sone ki chidiya kind of a thing you hear. It was true because we were the #1 economy for many, many centuries. And of course, the foreign domination and the subjugation by various colonial powers had led to a condition when India, became a poor country. And we started to lose our preeminent position in all this field of the exports also. And rather, we started to become more and more an important and intensive country. And that resulted into the more and more poverty and other issues. But now the tide has been changing. You all know from the position of the 10th number economy in the world, now India has reached the 5th number of economy. And in fact, there are predictions are there by 2050, India might beat not only the other countries in between, it might give a serious competition for the second spot with America also. So you can understand, for all these, we need to regain our a preeminent position in all the things in which we were very good. So obviously, the handloom industry, the fabric industry, the entire fashion industry, I'll add this all. These all are one and part of the. You know, they have to remember that India basically are the by heart we are maximalist people. You know, the maximalist philosophy is there, which is opposed to the minimalist, where more is more. We don't consider, for example, when it goes to you go to any bridal any marriage of India, you will find that in fact any kind of nothing is considered as a more and more is considered in the maximalism approach is adopted by everybody. And therefore, what I feel that in the field of fashion also, India was not treated as a that major player right till now. But now the tide is changing, and what I feel that Indians can regain their place and regain this one, and instead of it's a frivolous indulgence in the this one, it may become a great earner of the name, fame, as well as monetary gains also. You can also understand that now Indians are there in almost every part of the world. And they are one of the big, messengers of the, carriers and harbingers of the Indian fashion to the various parts of the world. And it is no wonder that in fact, Indian fashion trends are taking and being adopted in the various parts of the world. And this FDP, where you're treating the fashion as a system, this also is a wonderful thing. Because systems approach, being from the science engineering, I always consider that taking as a system is something where you start from the cradle to grave approach. You start from the first aspect to the last aspect of this one. That makes it a system approach. And in every system is a cyclic process. So treating it as a system, making a scientific approach for the management will give a great value to the overall development of the fashion industry, the overall the growth of the economic might of this industry, and also name, fame, and earning to all the people who are concerned with this. So Amity School of Fashion and Technology has been doing wonders. I'm very, very happy that all the faculty members of the school and also the dean, they have been doing wonders. Our students did their whenever I visit their studios, I'm amazed to see the kind of creation which they are able to produce. So I wish that this kind of creation should be going more and more. And this approach of the systems approach, you should be able to adopt it more and more, so that India and you, all of us, can become, can rightfully claim our place in the world. So in fact, my great wishes, and in fact good wishes to everyone, and congratulations to everyone. And also Dr. Vandana Gupta, who has joined over here from Chitkara University. I'm sure that the deliberations of large number of people from the various eminent places of the country will give rise to a wonderful mixture of the learning as well as the experimenting and growth to all of us. So my best wishes and welcome to all the people from the various parts of the country and maybe abroad also. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words of wisdom. And thank you so much. In the context of fashion, you took us back to the days and the roots of Gandhiji, where he was a fashion icon. If we can just redefine him, where despite being fashion now as a less, where there is less is more is the new slogan. But from you, we learned how more is also a new fashion now, how maximalism can be implemented as a new part of fashion. Thank you so much, sir, for taking us to a new venture of fashion where we can implement the maximalism in fashion. Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would like to invite our first keynote speaker, Dr. Vandana Gupta, who will be delivering her insights on fashion innovation with Industrial Revolution 5.0. Dr. Gupta is currently working as a professional professor in Chitkara Design School, Chitkara University, Punjab. She has more than 12 publications in national and international journals, over 10 conference papers, many book chapters to her name, and has presented numerous papers in various national and international seminars. She has a teaching and research experience of more than 10 years. Her area of research includes Indian traditional art and craft, upcycling of textile and apparel waste, medical textiles, nanotechnology, archaeological museum textiles, and natural dyeing. She has also been associated with many professional membership groups, such as life membership of Indian Science Congress Association, life membership of Cotton Research and Development Association, and Congress Association, and life membership of Textile Association of India. Now, may I have the honor to call upon the panel, Dr. Gupta, to enlighten the gathering. Please, madam, now the panel is yours. You can take over it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good morning and greetings to all the worthy participants, colleagues, and faculty members of Amity University all across the country. It is a pleasure for me to be on this platform with all the experts and intellectual people from all across the country. And thank you, Amity University, for inviting me and giving me this platform to share my knowledge and few insights about such an important topic, that is innovative approaches in fashion system. So let me share my presentation with you. I hope my presentation is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So to start with, if we look at innovation approaches in fashion system, there is so much to talk about innovations in fashion industry. But for this session, I will confine my discussion around the transformation of fashion industry from 4.0 to 5.0 industrial revolution. As in this presentation, I will be talking about few key points which is related to industrial revolutions, industrial revolution 4.0 and advanced technologies, industrial revolution 5.0 and metaverse, advantages and disadvantages of 5.0. We all need to understand that there are so much happening in fashion industry, both sides, in the form of sustainable development as well as a technological development. So this presentation, this session will help you to get some insight, some knowledge about the new revolutions which are taking place and how the fashion industry is coping up or maybe transforming itself. So these are the points which I'm going to discuss. So to understand the innovations of fashion industry, it is important to go back to the industrial revolution and take a look of innovations which have been there from industrial revolution 1.0 and where we are now, which we are talking about industrial revolution 5.0. So when we talk about industrial revolution 1.0, the first industrial revolution was born with the generation of mechanical power from water and steam, and also a shift from agricultural system to factory system was seen. In the second industrialization, electrical energy was favored by manufacturers with assembly lines and mass production, whereas electronics and information technology were employed in the third industrial revolution, familiarizing the production industries with the concept of digitization and automation. It is important to note that the fast fashion also took place during this revolution and resulted in many environmental concerns. If we look at Industrial Revolution 4.0, which is going right now, the fourth Industrial Revolution utilizes the Internet of Things, which is called as IoT, and cloud computing for the provision of a real-time interface between the virtual and physical world. Time interface between the virtual and physical world, the so-called cyber physical systems. Thus, the concept of smart factories and focus on sustainability were the major highlights during the revolution. And moving forward, we are now somewhere around the Industrial Revolution 5.0, which talks about reconnecting innovation, technology with humanity, which I'm going to discuss in the coming slides. I would like to inform and share with everybody on this platform that there are discussions and I would say debates going on that what is industrialization 5.0, Industrial Revolution 5.0? Is it the extension of 4.0, or is it is a new revolution which can be termed as 5.0? And to understand this, let us see some of the technologies which have taken place in Industrial Revolution 4.0 and how they have been embedded by fashion industry. So when we talk about Industrial Revolution 4.0, there are important points which we need to understand about this Industrial Revolution. The first and most important point is that it is built on the previous digital revolution, that is Industrial Revolution 3.0, which capitalizes the different advanced technologies such as artificial intelligence, computer-based system, machine learning, 3D printing, virtual and augmented reality. Second important point which we need to understand is that replacing human and transforming manufacturing into IoT integrated smart factories. As I have informed earlier, that this Industrial Revolution 4.0 is working on the concept of developing smart factories by using different advanced technologies. And the important point here to understand is there is a term that is replacing humans. The devices are interconnected with itself and they can work without humans. This is one of the important concept or the scenario of today's Industrial Revolution. Another important point is it focuses on improving mass productivity and performance through the provision of intelligence between devices and applications using machine learning. That is the production, the core concept of this Industrial Revolution 4.0 is to improve mass productivity and performance with the help of artificial intelligence. Another important point which I need to focus over here about Industrial Revolution 4.0 is the main priority is the process automation, thereby reducing the interventions of humans in the manufacturing process. So here the keywords are that the Industrial Revolution is looking at advanced technology by replacing human beings, improving productivity. It is looking for automation, and it is also looking at less human interventions. With all this, there are many technologies which have developed in Industrial Revolution 4.0, which we are going to see in the coming slides, and we will see how they are applicable to fashion industries. As we all know about artificial intelligence. Now, what is artificial intelligence? Just to give you an idea about this important technology which have taken place in Industrial Revolution 4.0, the basic definition can be defined as these machines are artificially incorporated with human-like intelligence to perform tasks as we do. That is, we have developed the machine which can work the way we do. This intelligence is built by using complex algorithms, and they are supposed to have the capability to adapt, reason, and provide solutions. So they, with the help of artificial intelligence, should provide solutions. Now, when we talk about artificial intelligence, these systems can be developed in different ways. When we talk about different ways, AI-based system can be developed or can be of pure software based, acting in the virtual world, for example, voice assistants. Second method of developing AI-based system is AI can be transferred in hardware devices such as advanced robots, autonomous cars, drones, etc. Let us see some of the examples of artificial intelligence which are there in fashion and textile industry. As we all know, there is a big supply chain in fashion and textile industry, and there are numerous human beings who are being engaged in different kind of works. Now imagine all these humans are being replaced by machines, and these machines are actually works on artificial intelligence principles. So one of the example is the chatbot, which works with the help of artificial intelligence, and it helps it is a interpret human language and are capable of coming up with answers to questions by using natural language processing. That makes it possible to tailor marketing activities. That is, it can connect with consumers, it can give answers to many consumers, and many people on this platform must be using it in one or the other way. Another very important aspect of this artificial intelligence, which is being used in supply chain of textile and fashion industry, is use of robots. Service robots can be utilized to automate a wide spectrum of industries ranging from logistics and delivery. One of the, I would say, important industry which is using or brand which is using this robots are Zara and H&M. So when we talk about these robots, they are being developed in different ways to do different activities. For example, in the first picture, you can see the first service robot, what it can do, it can identify information on each package and sort it with impeccable precision. That is the work which is being done by human beings, that is the sorting, it can be done by such kind of robots. The another is the accurate count. This automated drones, what it can do, it can quickly scan locations for automated inventory and send an accurate count immediately to warehouse inventory management software. Another kind of robot which is there in the industries is automated guided vehicles or carts. What they can do, they can transport inventory around warehouse following a track laid in warehouse. So imagine the amount of work which was done by human being is being replaced, and it is the reality. There are many industries who have adopted all these technology and are replacing humans. Another important examples of artificial intelligence is the use of sewing and embroidery machine, which is capable of doing all the work itself, which is being developed by different important world leaders. Then there is another machine which is also known as fully automated SewBot technology. The software automation company named it as SewBot. SewBot is the robot which can sew the garment by itself. From starting to the last point, it can sew the complete garment. It can sew the t-shirt or any garment by itself. So that is how it is named as SewBot. And there are many companies in international platforms who have changed their methodology, who have changed their infrastructure, who have changed their supply chain by replacing humans with such technology. Another example is the circular knitting machine, which can identify the defects which happens at that point of time, and they can be corrected. That is how the company claims that a new era of high quality and waste-free manufacturing can be developed by using such kind of machines. In a survey by McKinsey in 2019, the most companies that use AI increased their revenue. And in 2021, when we talk about global AI in the retail market, it was valued as $2,938 million, and it is expected to increase to a large amount by 2028. Another important technology which is there in Industrial Revolution 4.0 is Internet of Things. I hope everybody knows about Internet of Things, and the smart homes are the best example to tell you what is Internet of Things. Internet of Things is basically the collective network of connected devices and the technology that facilitates communication between devices and cloud, as well as between the devices themselves. That means whatever is there around us can be interconnected. It can be a bell, it can be AC, it can be a toaster, it can be anything. Anything can be interconnected with itself, and they can help us to solve problems. It can help us in many basic requirements. So it is possible to collect all the information, analyze it, and create an action to help someone with a particular task or learn from a process. It helps in better understanding of customers' need and requirements. So let us see what are the examples of Internet of Things. These are very interesting examples, as when we talk about clothing, as Sir said, the earlier times we were having important textiles which were worldwide renowned textiles, but now the look, the application, and the quality of material which we are using in terms of textile and garments have changed drastically, or I would say improved drastically. So the first picture which you can see is the self-lacing trainers shoes, which is being developed by Nike. And this shoes can adapt to the shape of the wearer's foot. It is very interesting. There is a video. I have shared a link in this slide, YouTube link, which you can see later on. This shoes, what it can do, whenever a wearer puts his or her feet in these shoes, it takes the shape, that is, the laces are tied by itself. It takes the shape of the foot and makes the wearer very comfortable. And there are sensors in the shoes which can help you to change the comfort level. If you want the shoes to be little loose, it will be, you can press a button, it will loosen up. If you want it to be really tight, it can be pressed a button and it will become tight. So that kind of technology is there with the help of the advanced technologies which have taken place in Industrial Revolution 4.0. Now here I want to emphasize one thing, that how this concept of making the shoes came into existence. We need to understand, as this is a professional development program and there are many faculties in this platform, I would like to share that we need to understand that we need to look around us. We need to understand the problems around us. That is where design thinking and problem solving comes into picture. So we need to see that, and Nike, while developing this concept, have also studied a concept based on research demonstrating that feet swell when playing sports. That means there was a problem with the players when they are playing and they have a swollen feet or foot. So what happened, Nike understood this problem and he has created this kind of product for the society. Another example which everybody must be knowing is that there are smart t-shirts, or maybe I would say smart garments in the market, which can integrate sensors to monitor heart rate and many other medical issues. And it also have a GPS reception. Now what happens, that this t-shirt helps the wearer to be free, have free movement on the field, and it can maintain the specific body moisture system. Another important feature of this Polar Team Pro shirt is that it blocks the damaging effects of ultraviolet rays, so players can concentrate on playing. Now, as in the Nike example, it is a multidisciplinary approach which we need to understand. And when we talk about this Polar Team Pro shirt, it is a multifunctional product, I would rather say, with an advanced technology into it. It can protect from UV rays, it can help in GPS reception, it has sensors for us to monitor our heart problems. So there are so many things which are interrelated and connected in this one particular garment. Now, let us come to the next example, which is, I would say, it is an app, Coded Couture app. This app would track customers' activity. Now, what is this app? It is a very interesting app which says that when a customer goes anywhere, the app takes a track of his activity. And after taking the track of his activity, the app will, I would say, share or suggest few important elements of design which can be incorporated in the garment for that particular customer. That is, the app will help us to design the garment for a particular customer by understanding his or her activities. Like if you are going for any fancy restaurant or maybe famous nightclub or neighborhood, accordingly the app will suggest that the garment should have diamonds, or maybe it can be of modern style, it should have a specific color, and that is how the dress can be developed. So much information is being shared with on cloud about a customer, but that information can be used in a positive way by the industries to develop garments and satisfy the consumers. Okay, now let us come to another two interesting technologies which took place in Industrial Revolution 4.0, that is augmented reality and virtual reality. I believe everybody knows what is augmented reality. Augmented reality is basically integrating digital information in real world. That is, we are in real world and we can superimpose and we could add digital image to our real world to understand how this real world will look like if this particular object or digital information is added to the real world. That is known as augmented reality. And when it comes to virtual reality is a three-dimensional computer generated environment. It is absolutely a different environment where it is not connected to reality. I relate this virtual reality to dreams. When we sleep, we are on bed, we are lying on a bed and we are with closed eyes, and our mind takes us to a different level or a different place where we can see what is happening. We are not doing anything, but we can see what is happening. And then in the morning, we come back to our real world. Similarly, the virtual reality is like a dream. You have virtual headsets which you can wear. And as soon as you wear the virtual headsets, there are different worlds. When you connect to those worlds, you disconnect with the real world. And I would like to ask, or I would like to emphasize this, that there are so many people, participants on this platform, and I would suggest and request everybody to at least explore the new technologies. It will be beneficial for you, for students, and you will be more able to interact with everybody. And experiencing the technology will help you to understand that how fast and where the technology is going. What are the good and bad things about the technology? When I was thinking about this metaverse and I was studying about this metaverse, I thought the first thing I wanted to do was to try this or experience this virtual reality to understand what is the unreal world is and how a customer or a person feels when he or she is there. Right? So let us see one of few examples. When we talk about augmented reality, you people must be knowing there are virtual tailors. These tailors, what happens with the help of an application, the body measurements can be taken and it can be circulated among different across the product lines, and accordingly the garment for that person can be developed or created. That is no hazards of no problems of giving measurements. It is the app who will scan your body and give the prescribed measurements which is required to develop a comfortable garment for that customer. The another example is the FX Mirror, which is an augmented reality fitting room solution that offers convenience to shoppers and customers, customer data to retailers. So when you shop, it is like there are two benefits. One is shoppers can try on clothes virtually without the hassle of getting in and out of clothes. That is, you can change the screen, you can select the product, and then you can see how it will look on your body. The another benefit is for the retailers. Retailers can gather crucial data about the customer preferences and shopping behavior. So such kind of technology benefits both the persons, the customer as well as the retailer, to understand the customer and shopping behavior. When we talk about the virtual reality, as I have told you, it is an unreal world. But when we talk about the fashion industry is using different kind of softwares which will help them to create different kind of, I would say, images, movements, and virtual worlds for their customers. For example, Clo3D is being used for developing different types of garments and virtual reality worlds. And there are many fashion shows which have taken place in last few years, which are based on virtual reality, where the designers, where the artists get ample amount of freedom to create whatever they want to create. And if I'm not wrong, you must have seen that there are garments which have been developed with the help of melting gold, or maybe fire, or maybe water, or maybe whatnot. In virtual world, the limit to creativity is endless. You have so much opportunity to create whatever you want to create. Then talking about this virtual world, there are different big brands who are into this and who have developed different kind of products for their customer and to engage customer to their industry. Dior, fashion brand Dior, they have designed its own virtual reality headset, which is known as Dior Eyes, and it is in combination of VR imaginary technologies, and it have sound recording in 360 degree. So as you can see in this picture, this female is wearing this headset of Dior, and this headset contains all the information of Dior brand. That is, she can see, she feels that she is there in the platform where fashion show is being taking place, Dior fashion show is taking place. She can enter the green room, she can enter the ready to wear fashion show, and it feels like as if she is there and seeing everything happening in front of her just by wearing this headset. So such kind of amalgamation of technology and brands is seen in this Industrial Revolution 4.0. Now, what we need to understand is why I have discussed about all this Industrial Revolution 4.0 and these technologies, because the Industrial Revolution 5.0 have taken the advantage, taken all these technologies and developed a new technology, which I would be discussing, which is known as metaverse, I would be discussing. And along with that, it has also decided or collected some other objectives, which is related to sustainability and social benefits. So what is Industrial Revolution 5.0? As I have told you in my first or second slide, that there are discussions going on that is it 5.0 or is it the extension of 4.0? Right now, you can also say that it looks like an extension of 4.0 because all the technologies of Industrial Revolution 4.0 are being embedded in 5.0, and with the help of those technologies, new technologies are created. So when we look at Industrial Revolution 5.0, we need to understand that there are, this Industrial Revolution 5.0 says that robotic, automated digital advances, as well as the questioning, insight, innovation, creativity that comes from human beings are equally important. That is, advanced technology and the knowledge and creativity of human being both are equally important. In Industrial Revolution 4.0, if you will study it very carefully and in detail, you will feel itself that this Industrial Revolution 4.0 was more about profit-centric industries. They are just thinking about their profit. The human touch is being removed. So Industrial Revolution 5.0 is looking back to rehumanization, and it is saying that the collaboration between the automated machines and humans will be there in Industrialization 5.0. Many experts also says that we are learning from the lessons or mistakes which we are seeing in Industrial Revolution 4.0. That is why there is a requirement of new revolution, which is 5.0. So the main objective of Industrial Revolution 5.0 are, it is human-centric design for industry and society. It focuses on environmental and social sustainability. It is mission-driven companies over profit-driven. In Industrial Revolution, you will find many mission-driven companies which have their missions of rehumanization, environmental and social sustainability. And another important, very important technology which I'm going to discuss is metaverse, which is developed in Industrial Revolution 5.0, and it will have an immense impact in everybody's life. It is not about the industry, but everybody's life. So Industry 5.0 is set to focus to return human hands and minds in the industrial framework. I am not going to talk about much about rehumanization, but I would be talking about metaverse, because there is so much to talk about these revolutions, but I will stick my further presentation to metaverse. Now, I have added these pictures in my presentation. What do you think about these pictures? You people must have seen that there are different important giants. There are people who are talking about avatars or digital clones or maybe digital twins. So what you can see is in first or second pictures that the people have developed their own avatars, that is digital avatars, who are sitting together and doing a conference. Like right now, what we are doing a session online where you can see me as real me. But in metaverse, what will happen, that there is a world which is being developed, which is being created, a room will be created or an university will be created, and you can enter that world with the help of digital technology in the form of your avatar. You will create an avatar and you will enter that university, that digital university, and you can go and meet your dean or you can go and meet your students. So this kind of technology transformation is there. Earlier in virtual reality, we were just able to see what is happening, but now in the virtual world only, we can enter the virtual world and we can do so many things, right? So in 1992, when internet was still new, American novelist Neil Stephenson spoke about virtual reality, a virtual world where people will use digital avatars to live, work, and play online. That means this world is not new. He called it as metaverse. So you can read this novel, that is Snow Crash, which is written by this eminent novelist, and you will find how he has described the metaverse. When we try to understand this definition of metaverse, meta meaning beyond, and verse is taken from the universe. And it is also mentioned that it is a successor of internet. Now, recently I came across a movie which is known as Ready Player One. This is one important movie. I believe that when it comes to designing, animation, films, all these creative fields have really smooth information transferring system, and films are one of the important medium to transfer information or share information. So this Ready to Player One movie is one movie which actually explains that what is metaverse, how if this metaverse technology comes into society in coming years, how society will change and what people are going to do. I have specifically added these two pictures to make you understand this. In this movie, this in left hand side is the real character, and this character is trying to wear the headset, and after wearing the headset, he will get into the virtual reality, that is the metaverse reality, and there he has created his own avatar. Avatar can do whatever he wants the avatar to do. So imagine this is the real look, and he has changed the way he wants to look in the digital world. So we'll see what are the advantages, disadvantages of this metaverse. So to define it simply, the metaverse is a virtual world where humans as avatars interact with each other in a three-dimensional space that mimics reality. It just mimics reality, but we are there and we can do whatever we want to do in the form of avatar. Another important thing about this metaverse industry, I would rather say, is that metaverse into an expanding digital economy where users buy and sell virtual items. I believe that many of you must be knowing about blockchain, about NFT, non-fungible tokens, and cryptocurrency, which is a very important part of this new innovation or technology that is metaverse. They are all being used they have been used in last few years by different customers and brands, and NFT, cryptocurrency, and blockchain are part of this metaverse. So if we look at the key technologies and development pillar of metaverse, as I have discussed with you, it is artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, extended reality, which will include AR, VR, and mixed reality, blockchain, cryptocurrency, NFT. Then we have spatial edge computing, 3D modeling, that is 3D technology will be used, and brain computer interferences, replace traditional computer and control success screens and hardware. There will be new technologies like virtual headsets. So as we speak, big giants are racing to claim the metaverse. This is also a very interesting fact that different big giants like Apple, Microsoft, Google, Facebook, Disney, they all are using this metaverse to be on the edge of the road, of the mountain, right? They are using in developing different advanced reality gadgets. Microsoft has developed a digital world, which is Mesh. Facebook, as you know, has changed its name to Meta to be at the top of the curve. Disney is working on Disney theme metaverse. Another important thing is that the city Santa Monica, company, this city is being converted into a digital version of Santa Monica, where people can go inside and they can play over there, and they can get rewards by finding the items hidden at different places. So this kind of changes are there, and the big giants are using these technologies to be on the top of the curve. Now, when you think about virtual reality or metaverse, it is related to gaming, because a huge amount of gaming technology is being used to develop different kind of virtual reality world and metaverse. So these are few of the important gaming technologies which are leading, and they have collaborated, or I would say fashion brands have collaborated with them to create different types of metaverses. Metaverse fashion, if we talk about this metaverse fashion, as I have told you, there are different type of technologies the fashion industry is using, and metaverse fashion is designed for humans and their avatars. Now, this is important. Till now, what fashion industry was doing, it was developing the real product, which we can touch, feel, sense, and wear it, right? Now, in this metaverse fashion industry, what fashion industry is doing is they are developing digital products, the same product in digital form, and that product is being used by the customer in the form of the avatar costumes. That is, they are buying that digital costume to make their avatar look the way they want it to look. Right? So that means fashion industry is on one side making the real product, on the other side, they are also making the digital product, which is being purchased by different consumers with the help of NFT and other digital platforms. Now, as I have told you that there are different kind of different companies who have collaborated with gaming technology companies to develop their own metaverse. Walmart intends to open online shops where a customer can browse their products. Nikeland, an interactive world where individuals can play games relating to sports, was introduced in November 2021 with the partnership with Roblox, which is a very famous game company. Then it also allows to play games, socialize, as well as dress their avatars with digital items like Air Jordan and other Nike blazers. When we talk about Forever 21, it has again partnered with Roblox, and in order to create virtual fashion e-commerce store. So you will find one of such stores on a digital platform, or you can use the virtual reality headsets to find such innovations happening. When we talk about the advantages of metaverse fashion, exploring how its features can create a convenient, sustainable, and revenue-generating opportunities, there are certain advantages to this metaverse fashion, which is access to a new growing community of different subcultures and demographics, engage, reach, and inspire your customer base in new and innovative ways, Like by creating different metaverse virtual realities, they can, inspire or reach their different customers. And the another thing about metaverse is that when you are there in that virtual world, it is not that you are alone. You will find your mother, maybe sister, your friends, your colleagues. They all might be there, and you can meet them on that platform, and you can interact with them, right? You can shop with them. Another is take advantage of virtual trends, viral trends within the metaverse, expand production and revenue channels. I'm going to discuss about this production and revenue channels in the coming slide. It is more efficient market tactics, explore new business models. It is environment friendly, fast time to market and iterations, accessibility for new market players. So the question arises that why people buy metaverse fashion. As I have told you that there are customers, there are consumers who are buying digital costumes for their avatars on maybe a very higher price. But why do they want to buy it when they can buy it in real? And what is the use of that digital costume to them? So if we see the reasons behind it, it empowers self-expression. See, in real world, if you are wearing a sari, but you actually want to wear a different kind of garment, but you cannot wear in the real world, you can explore that in the metaverse. Grants ownership. Whatever you buy belongs to you. Then provides utility value add for the customer, set trends, then you will find a different kind of costume which cannot be created in the real world. It offers limitless designs. It can be more affordable, facilitates control and co-creation. The metaverse or the new technology also provide us the opportunity to redesign or design or co-create with the designers. Can be virtually tried on. It provides convenience. So these are the few reasons why people are looking towards the use of metaverse fashion. Now let us see some market insights into metaverse fashion industry. The fashion industry is one of those industries that is going to remain at the forefront. We all know that. If we consider the global fashion market share, it is expected to rise to 6.61 billion USD. And according to recent survey, the global metaverse market is in 2022 was around 47.48 billion USD. Apart from this, McKinsey and Corporation by 2030, the metaverse is expected to rise the global economic value by 5 trillion USD. So this is the speed with which the metaverse fashion industry is moving. There are another surveys. I would like to put one earlier information here that Philip Kotler, sir, the eminent person in marketing, he has conducted a webinar in Amity University, Gurgaon, few years ago, and he have shared few important points about marketing 5.0. In that presentation, in that webinar, he shared that there are different kind of generations which the industry and the society is dealing with or comprised of. And when we talk about different kind of generations, the Generation Z is the generation which this metaverse industry is looking at. So why I'm pointing out here that when we talk about metaverse fashion industry or metaverse industry, they say that majority of the younger generation, that is Generation Z, is already on digital platforms. They are using the technology in different ways. They are exploring the technology in different ways. And they are these big giants are also looking at the market, which is bracketed between Gen X, Z. That they think that majority of their customers will be Generation Z, that is our younger generation or our children. So according to survey by Roblox, 1 in 5 Gen Z gamers are changing their avatars' clothes on a daily basis. Furthermore, for 2 out of 5 people expressing themselves through clothing and accessories in the digital world. So this is already happening. If you will talk to your niece or maybe or any other children, they must be using this technology in one or the other way through gaming, actually. According to another survey, 31% of those who buy digital fashion usually spend up to $5 per month, and additional 30% spend up to $10 to $20 per month. So this is the kind of expenditure people are ready to do when it comes to digital fashion or digital clothing. Now, how can metaverse transform the fashion business in industry 5.0? I'm not going to discuss much in detail, but yes, these points are important as how it is being changing and how it will benefit or transform the fashion industry. There are huge margins which fashion industry can see in terms of that when we need to prepare a real world garment, we have to source a material, we have to find factories for inventory, skill workshop, and so. But digital designs not only consume less time, but also allow creators to cut their cost and focus on creative efforts. Now, the objective of Industrial Revolution 5.0 is creative efforts, right? Secondary market profits. I would like to tell you that whatever you have purchased on digital platform as digital garment or any digital object through NFT, cryptocurrency, or blockchain method, you can always own it and you can resell it. Whereas when it comes to real world, whatever we have purchased, we cannot resell it, right? There is no such important markets where we can resell it and we can get a product. And I would like to tell you, there are studies which says that when the reselling was done, the amount of the product was increased, and then also the consumers have bought that product. Another important factor is the absence of inventory or oversupply. When we talk about inventory or oversupply, we all know that a huge amount of inventory or space is required where the products can be developed, products can be collected and can be sold as per the season or the requirement of the customer. In digital platform, in metaverse, in such technologies, no such inventory, no such platforms are required, and the product can be produced as per the customer requirement as well. Another important thing which I was talking about is more innovation and creativity. This is one of the buzzword in Industrial Revolution 5.0, that people will have more opportunity of innovation and creativity. To move forward, let us see the challenges as well. When we talk about the challenges, this is few important challenges which we need to take care of. When we talk about every technology, when it comes, it brings some good and some bad things with it. So this technology have many challenges, but I have jotted down few of them. Privacy and security concerns will be there, as we know that data information is being shared on different platforms, and the privacy is being hindered, and there are so many things. So second is the user experience. As I'm talking about wallets or to purchase NFT, people need to understand the barriers or the opportunities of using this NFT. Another is consumer awareness. Consumer need to be made aware of metaverse world. What is metaverse world? What is required in metaverse world, and how it need to be used. Business risk, highly interlinked with blockchain technology. This metaverse fashion industry is highly interlinked with blockchain technology. So there needs to be a regulatory body which can regulate what and how it needs to be done, and how this metaverse industry needs to be operated. Then missing know-how and expertise. Another important thing is because everything is going digital, so we are reducing the talents. We need to skill up the people to understand that what is the technology and how they can use it or amalgamate with their real life. Last but not the least, when we talk about these metaverse or the industrial revolutions, there are many advantages and disadvantages. There are few important factors about metaverse or industrial revolution 5.0 which need to be considered. Like psychology will control technology. These factors are somehow a good factors, which is like psychology will control technology. The progress into industry 5.0 is inevitable. We cannot deny it. It will help us to create more jobs than eliminate. We are going to see how it is going to create more jobs, but it says that the industrial revolution 5.0 will create more jobs than eliminate. Personalization will lead, not mass production. So more focus will be on personalization than on mass production. Robots aren't supposed to supersede humans, but co-opt with them. That is, humans and robots are going to work together, bring broader benefits to the market than 4.0. This is how these are the factors which are there about industrial revolution 5.0. There are certain concerns which I would like to share about this new technologies and industrial revolution. That does the metaverse ensure privacy? Because it is so open that anybody can enter and we have the freedom to do anything in the metaverse. There are many cases which are coming out in terms of safety. people in metaverse enters and say that I can do anything because it is an open virtual world, unreal world, and it is a metaverse. So how democratic and open source it will be, what lines we need to draw, and above everything else, will it be safe? Because it is for Gen Z. As experts say that this technology, this industry is looking forward towards generation Z. So is it safe for children, and how much it is safe for children? How skills will be developed for this new technology among the society and with all the people who wants to use it? In the end, I would just like to say that being teachers, being professionals, we need to consider a few important things when we talk about the changing trends in any industry or maybe fashion industry. The first important thing is denial is not the solution. We need to move with the advanced technology. As I have told you, I don't know how many of you have actually experienced the virtual reality. But I would say that we need to experience the virtual reality. We need to understand the virtual reality, or maybe any technology, to be able to understand what is changing and how it is changing. Another important thing is educate and develop skills. As professionals, we need to upgrade ourselves by at least experiencing the technology. And last and not the least, we need to stay informed to be able to provide the right direction and information to Gen Z, as we all are faculty members and we are professionals and we are dealing with the students. We need to provide the right direction and information to the generation, and that can happen if we will upgrade ourselves and we will see how technology is changing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your engaging lecture on how AI and metaverse can be clubbed with fashion, which has opened up new avenues for further work and research in fashion. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Annie. Thank you.
Ma'am, there are some questions
Please.
which I would. What is Hina Khanam is asking? What is the cost involved in establishing and maintaining this kind of system?
It is a very nice question, but I won't be able to give you the correct or right figure, because there are different brands, or I would say industries or companies, who are looking forward to develop different kind of metaverses or virtual reality areas. And it depends on what kind of metaverse they are looking forward to. Suppose if they are looking forward for a simple game, it will cost a different, it will have a different cost, and with which company or brand they are collaborating to prepare that metaverse environment. So I won't be able to give you the correct figure, but yes, a huge amount of cost, because it is a new technology and we are not well versed about it. So the new things is always expensive, right?
Okay. In continuation to that, she is asking, how effective is this innovation or shift for the medium scale manufacturers and consumers?
See, if we look at in a positive way, it is very, very, very effective, I would say, in a sense that when we talk about sustainability, yes, this technology, this type of platform will provide us the opportunity to develop a sustainable society and environment, because many of the garments products are developed on this virtual platform, which is being shared with the consumer and the market, and we can select those developed costumes from the virtual platform itself, and accordingly the manufacturers can develop the number of items or the type of products considering our selection on the virtual platform. So in terms of sustainability, I believe that this technology will help us in coming years.
Okay. We have one more question from Mr. Mohit. How can we maintain sustainability with the advent of metaverse and other AI tools?
As I've told you, this technology will definitely help in sustainability, but as I've again told you that there are advantages and disadvantages of any technology. So this platform will definitely provide us the sustainability in terms of manufacturing process. But again, the IT, if we talk about information technology areas, there can be a problem of sustainable products or sustainable processes. So sustainability will be achieved in this technologies, I believe.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. The chat box is flooded with many compliments for you regarding your session. There are more questions. When we talk about tangible output, Metaverse can't do that. So how to access students in that case?
Come again with the question.
Okay. When we talk about tangible output, Metaverse can't do that. So how to assess students in that case?
I think I didn't get the question correctly, but I'll try to answer this question. Where I think the question says that the tangible output is, when we talk about the students, it is the, when we are going to make a virtual world, we are going to make the output on that virtual world itself, right? So it is not only about that we have to make a tangible product in the reality. We can also understand the products in the virtual world, and then that can be an output by the students.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Reena Bhatia is asking, during COVID times, our students use 3D clock to create and showcase their collection to best in precision of cut, fit, and drape.
I think she has shared
Whereas-
this information.
Yes,
This is
ma'am.
just
Yes,
an
ma'am.
information. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. And one more question from Ms. Babita Bhandari. What are your views on when the world is trying to achieve a basic SDGs like gender equality and poverty? How following these new technologies would help? Is there any balanced approach for the industry to be sensitized of?
Right now, I won't say that there is any balanced approach. That is what I have shared in my presentation, that the policies and regulation and guidelines needs to be prepared in terms of such advanced technologies and how we can take this technology forward to the lowest to the highest part of the society. So right now, there is no such scene. Yeah.
Okay. Ms. Anu Koshi is asking, what is your opinion about the scope of personalization platforms in the Indian retail market?
When we talk about personalization platforms, there, as I have told you, there are many brands who are working on the development of personalized products for the customers. And this market will grow because actually the consumers are looking forward for personalized products. In the last few decades, we have seen that multifunctional textile have been created just to satisfy the need of the customer as per their personalized requirements. It may be health, it may be aesthetics, it may be functional activity. So this platform will increase, and yes, this new technology gives us the opportunity to personalize certain objects for ourselves.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. That's all for the
Welcome.
question.
Thank you to all the participants, and thank you, Indrani ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to share my knowledge and few insights with all the participants. And thank you to all the participants for hearing the session. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Vandana. It was a wonderful session.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
I'm delighted to introduce our next esteemed keynote speaker for today's program, Dr. Apurva Das, who will be speaking on science behind clothing comfort. Dr. Das is serving as a professor in the Department of Textile and Fiber Engineering and Institute Chair Professor. Sir has joined Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi in 2002 as a faculty after serving in the textile industries and in research organization for about 11 years. Sir has published and presented many research papers in journals and conferences, authored and edited several books, monographs, and written chapters in books. Dr. Das has successfully completed many research and consultancy projects from industries and government funding agencies. He has developed several instruments for characterization of textile materials. His main areas of teaching and research interest are clothing comfort, sports textiles, non-wovens and technical textiles, protective textiles, filter fabric, geotextiles, medical bandage, textile composites, and instrumentation. Sir has filed several patent applications. Sir has international research collaborations with universities from different countries like Germany, Poland, Hungary, Italy, and many more. Sir is also the recipient of the Teaching Excellence Award. Now may I have the honor to call upon the panel Dr. Apurva Das to enlighten the gathering.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I would like to first thank the organizing committee to invite me for this talk. Okay, so without delaying, I just let me share. Okay, just a minute. Okay, so my today's topic is the science behind clothing comfort. Okay, actually, that what I was thinking, the theme of the this FDP program is that innovation in fashion system. Okay, but my it's a going forward towards the fashion industry. And actually, my topic will be little bit maybe I feel it's not that exactly fit to the theme, but it is completely relevant to towards this the theme, because it is the backing of this any fashion industry. Okay, any textile and fashion. So if you talk about any clothing, any human behavior, so comfort is the main one prime thing. Talking about any building science, any science where the human involvement is there, ergonomics and comfort is extremely important. And my talk will be actually confined towards the clothing comfort. Okay, if we discuss, if we try to see the, just a minute. Comfort, what is comfort? If we see, the comfort is basically, it's a state of pleasant neurophysiological, thermophysiological and psychological harmony. It's a basically, it's not comfort is, you cannot define comfort in a particular single word. It's a combination of neurophysiological, thermophysiological and psychological harmony of a human being. So if one of this actually it doesn't qualify, then we are not getting a comfort sensation. Clothing, anything, maybe neurophysiologically it's a very highly comfortable, thermophysiologically it's a comfortable, but if it's psychologically it's not comfortable, then we are actually losing the comfort sensation. Now let's take one example. Suppose I am wearing a nice cotton comfortable, which is actually very comfortable in the with the skin, and it releases heat and moisture very nicely. But if it doesn't look nice, if it is not fashionable, I may not feel comfortable. Okay. Similarly, if you are talking about the components, all these three major components are extremely important. So I will discuss this important science behind all these components. So I'll start with first neurophysiological comfort, which is nothing to do with the which is actually something to do with the our neurophysiological sensation. Okay, if you see our clothing, our cloth is actually covering our body. Approximately 80 to 90% of the body area is touched by the cloth, and textile material is the only material which is actually close to our body. So comfort has got 3 components. The neurophysiological component is actually, it's something to do with the sensorial touch, and thermophysiological is to do with the heat release or moisture release characteristics, and psychological comfort is the aesthetic comfort. Okay. So first, we'll discuss the sensorial comfort, how the clothing generates feeling when we wear and it touches our skin. And thermophysiological is that heat, air, moisture in the form, in 2 forms, in a liquid form and in vapor form, how it gets transmitted. And it depends on the activity. When if you are talking about the comfort of high active sportswear, then we talk about the liquid transmission. And if I am sitting in a comfortable room, then I am not sweating, but still I am releasing moisture vapor. So this aspect we'll discuss. And third one is the psychological aspect, which is basically aesthetic perception or wearer's attitude towards clothing. So these 3 aspects I'll discuss. And basically here in this talk, I'll I'll not go in depth, but I'll discuss what is the science, what are the sciences behind all these aspects. So in sensorial comfort, the neurophysiological process in clothing comfort. Clothing, actually, we are always in, clothing is in touch with our skin, and we get different types of feeling. The roughness feeling, softness, friction. So all these sensations which we receive are transmitted through different sensors, and ultimately we get a sensation. All these things are physical or mechanical sensation, and in addition to this, we get other sensation, which is thermal sensation, whether it's a cold, hot, or basically sometimes it's warm or these sensations are basically we get from through the different sensors available in our skin. It's a branch of physiology and neuroscience. So these 2 branches actually makes the neurophysiology, and it's extremely important to understand while designing a clothing or even a fashion material, any garment. So if you see, our skin actually consists of different layers. So epidermis, which is outer layer, then dermis and hypodermis. And within this, inside these layers, we have different types of sensors available. Okay. So these are the sensors like Meissner sensors. Okay. And some Pacini's corpuscle. These are the different sensors which sense the different sensations like touch, heat, prickle sensation, pressure, So all this sensation we receive, and we receive this most of this sensation through our clothing. If you see, our basic function of functions of the human skin are, one is to protect us from extreme heat, okay, cold, and this heat, light, cold, and radiation is the basic function of skin. But if you try to enhance the skin's function to protect our body, clothing is extremely important. Like without clothing, we are comfortable within a narrow range of temperature and some different radiation. But with clothing, our protection level increases. So we feel comfortable. So normally, a nude person will feel comfortable at the temperature around, say, 25, 26, or 20, maybe 30 degrees Celsius. But the same person can be comfortable with extreme cold or extreme heat temperature by wearing suitable clothing. So this, to check body fluid, is one function of human skin, but our clothing can enhance these things, okay? Reception of stimuli like touch, pressure, heat, pain. But while we are wearing clothing, so these sensations are coming through the cloth. Metabolism. So these are the different functions of skin. But if you see, clothing always actually assists our skin. It's the second skin, we can say. So skin interacts with our environment. There are specialized sensors available, as I have mentioned. Basically, three types of sensors are there. One is mechanical sensor, which actually is responsible for mechanical interaction with the outer world, like touch, pressure, pain. And as I have mentioned, our body is covered with the clothing. So our basically mechanical sensation we get, most of the mechanical sensation we get from our clothing. So if we are talking about the touch, so our clothing surface should be such that it doesn't actually irritate our body, okay? Similarly, garment size, if the cloth is a tight fit cloth and without any stretch, so we will feel pain because pressure we will feel, and that if while movement, different parts of the body will get different types of pressure. Then thermal interaction, whether it's a warm or cold. Then damaging sensation, normally we don't get this sensation through our clothing. So if you see the flow of sensory perception, we get sensory perception from outside. Okay, suppose I am touching, the body is being touched by hand. So this is the basically mechanical sensation where the sensors are available, and it actually transmits the signal through the spinal cord. It goes to the brain, and the brain gets and all these things are different places where through which the brain gets a sensation. But we will be concentrating on this aspect because our clothing is actually, it's it gives signal to our skin, and it goes to the through the spinal cord, it goes to the brain, and brain actually evaluates all this sensation and gives one combined sensation. So mechanical receptors are basically major receptors are 4 different types of receptors. One is Pacini's corpuscle, Ruffini's ending, Meissner's corpuscle, and Merkel's nerve ending. These are present in our skin. Depending on their depth of presence, they sense different types of sensation. Like I'll tell you, if you see the Meissner's corpuscle, this corpuscle is basically, it's very close to the skin surface. So that's why this is skin surface. When you touch, this sensor will be excited. It will get sensation. So Meissner corpuscle is actually responsible for light touch. Whereas if you see the Pacini's corpuscle, its presence is at certain depth. So it actually, it gets signal when you have pressure. So if you talk about 2 garments, let us say talk about 2 garments. One is a loose garment, another is a tight fit garment. And loose fit garment will give you a sensation which is actually sensed by the Meissner corpuscle. It's light touch, and you will get, and here you will see the receptive fields are concentrated. Concentrated receptive fields means you will get sensation at localized sensation you will get. Okay? But whereas it's tight fit garment, you will get overall sensation. Okay, overall sensation of pressure. So this type of garment designing, even a surface fiber fabric surface characteristics you can design. Then thermoreceptors are basically, we have 2 types of thermoreceptors. One is cold thermoreceptors, another is warm thermoreceptors. Okay, and these thermoreceptors, when the cold thermoreceptors are there, it's working, then thermoreceptor will not work at that time. Warm receptors will not work at that time. And apart from this normal cold and warm receptor, these are the normal cold and warm receptor. Another is cold pain receptors, and hot pain receptors are also there. So I will come back to this aspect. So these are the pain receptors. This is warm, extremely warm, like boiling water. So here you will not feel the warm receptor. Normal warm receptors will not work. Here warm pain receptor will work. Similarly, in cold receptor, normal cold receptor will not work at the extreme cold temperature. Normally, if you see, the normal cold receptor actually works from 5 degrees Celsius to say 30 degrees or 40 degrees Celsius, around this thing. This is the range of work of cold receptors. If you go below 5 degrees Celsius, okay, less than 5 degrees Celsius, suppose if you are going to the 0 degrees Celsius, so like 0 degrees Celsius, you will not feel, actually cold receptor will not work. Here it will be cold pain receptors. Now this we can, in daily life we can experience. Suppose you take one ice cube, and what you do, you just grip, or you press the ice cube against your body part, initially for few seconds, you will feel cold, but after certain time, after say 20-30 seconds, you will stop feeling cold. You will start feeling pain, some different feeling. So that means initial range, initial time, when it is going below the 5 degrees Celsius, the sensors available in the skin. This is the skin. When you are pressing the eyes, so after certain time, these sensors present in the skin will start getting temperature signal of less than 5 degrees Celsius. That will actually result pain sensation. Similarly, if you touch the boiling water, initially you will feel warm, but after fraction of second, after 1 second or 2 seconds, you will not feel warm, you will feel the pain. So that's why different types of sensors are available, and our clothing should actually design in such a fashion. We should not go to that level. Our body skin temperature should be within our acceptable, comfortable temperature. Similarly, for mechanical receptor, like pin pricking will give us the sensation, which is a pain sensation, and which is sensed by a different type of sensors. Okay. So these are the things. I'm not going to discuss all this. Okay. So when we wear clothing, we get different sensation. So one is wear sensation during the activity. Okay. What is that? Like all these things are mechanical sensation. Like I'm wearing a shirt and I'm sitting idle, I'm not moving at all. So I'm getting certain sensation. Okay. But when I start moving my hand, then what will happen? The different types of sensors will come into picture. Okay. Like in some places we'll have a higher pressure. In some places the shirt will start moving against my skin. Okay. So all these sensors will give sensation, and ultimately it will send signal to my brain, and brain will evaluate all this. Another sensation which we get, prickle sensation. So when we wear one coarse woolen cloth, okay, and we feel some itchy sensation, some rash or prickle, something is pricking. So this sensation we get through some pain sensors. Touch and pressure sensation, and roughness and scratchiness sensation. All this sensation we get through our skin. And when we are talking about this sensation, we have two types of sensation. One is dynamic and static sensation. So different areas, as I have mentioned, they apply pressure at different levels of pressure and with a different sensitivity level. So what is that sensitivity level? Why the sensitivity changes? Because at different portion of our body, different zones, our sensor, number of sensors present are different, and different types of sensors are available. But depending on the sensors present, number of sensors present, our sensitivity is different. Okay. And when we change the activity level, the human body frequently changes the physiological parameters like rate of sweating, temperature of skin, and moisture at the skin. Like same garment, same clothing, you will feel comfortable in one particular environmental condition. But when you start activity, your activity level changes. So that will change the rate of sweating, temperature, and moisture condition, and which will ultimately affect the comfort sensation. Like prickle sensation, if you see, you are wearing, this is our skin and this is fabric, okay? Two types of clothing. And here this nerve endings, these are sensor, mechanical sensor responsible for pain, prickle pain sensation. These sensors, these are special mechanical sensor. If you see, when we are wearing a cloth made of fine fiber, okay, fine fiber, this will not be able to penetrate inside our skin, okay? It will not be able to push our skin, which will be exciting these sensors, okay? And these nerve endings or sensors are present at very shallow depth, okay? So it's very close to skin outside. But when we change this fiber diameter to a coarser fiber, which is very stiff in nature, doesn't bend easily, buckle easily, so it will try to push the skin, and these sensors will get excited. And there are different parameters available, like when your skin is dry, your outside layer will be hard, okay? This outside layer will be hard, and that will not allow these fibers to penetrate inside the skin. But when we get wet, these fibers will get penetrated easily through the outside dead cell of the skin and will excite this nerve ending. That's why we feel rash, or we feel the uncomfortable sensation or prickle sensation, okay, or scratchy sensation in the condition when we are sweating, in our skin is wet. That's why you will see all these problems comes in the summer or humid condition, not in the dry or cold condition, okay? So we have to design our clothing accordingly. And also this penetration depends on the type of skin. With the age, as we grow, our dead cell depth increases, so which protects us from this prickle sensation. But for kids or for women, their skin structure is such that this penetration is very easy, okay? So prickle sensation, we have discussed this part, okay? So males have higher threshold, okay, than females. So that's why to design, even with the increase in age of person, the skin actually gets protection. So to design clothing or to design fabric for females or kids, so we have to be careful of all these aspects, okay? In hot and humid climate, it actually increases. And also it has been observed that in glabrous skin, means where the presence of this nerve ending are not there, okay? These nerve endings are absent in glabrous skin. Actually, the skin where we don't have any skin, like the hairs, like palm or feet, all these areas, we don't get this type of sensation, okay? Prickle sensation. And along with all these things, another is that hair receptors, hair follicle receptors. Actually, this receptor is extremely important. It senses the slipping of the garment, okay? Suppose when we are this hair moves, it actually along with the clothing, So this will excite this hair receptor. This is also one mechanical receptor. Okay. And thermal receptors are, as I have told, basically two types of thermal receptors. One is hot receptor, another is cold receptors. And if you see the presence of cold receptors, okay, presence of cold receptor is very close to the skin outside than the warm receptors. So I'll just skip this. So there are four different types of receptors I told. And as I have told, see, it is typically around 7 degree to maybe around 40 degree Celsius. These cold receptors work in this zone. Okay. And within between 30 to 50 degrees Celsius, the sensation of the thermal receptors are working, and heat pain is beyond this, and cold pain is below around, say, it basically starts from around 10 degrees Celsius and go below that. And if you see the presence of receptors, you'll see at the chest area, the number of cold receptors are extremely high. And at the finger zone, if you see inner side of the finger zone, it's basically very low. Now, if I ask you, can anyone answer one question? Suppose in a room, suppose that I'm not wearing any, you are wearing one cloth, okay? And you have been given one small towel. You have been given one small towel, and you are feeling extremely cold. Extremely cold. And when you try to actually warm yourself with the small piece of cloth, which portion of your body you will try to cover to get warmth, immediate warmth? Normally, what we do, we try to wrap around our chest. So because at that portion, we normally get maximum cold sensation. Okay. And if you see here, these are the warmth receptor. Number of warmth receptors are much less. Concentration is per square centimeter, the number of receptors present here. So cold receptors, number of cold receptors are more. That's why we feel higher threat from cold sensation. Okay. And in too hot or too cold temperatures, the cold pain or cold hot pain that I have discussed. And location as basically cold receptors, location is very close to skin outside, and warm receptors in certain depth. That's why our threat is basically from cold. Due to the human are more sensitive to danger from cold than heat. Okay, this is because higher number of cold receptors and shallow depth. Now, all these things what we have discussed, these are the constantly changing temperatures, okay, or constant temperature. But sudden change in temperature, if you see the temperature profile here, it's constant temperature. Suddenly you are reducing the temperature and you are keeping that temperature same, and then it is actually increased, and then you are, this is the temperature profile, okay, with the time. Now, if we see the reception or frequency received by the cold receptor, this is the cold receptors. Now, here the sensitivity is constant because temperature is constant. And when we reduce the temperature, suddenly you will see cold receptors active frequency increases. So you will suddenly start feeling very cold. This situation is, you can see you are in a warm room, okay, comfortable room, and in outside there is a extremely cold, it's snowing, extremely cold situation. You are going out. In that situation, you will initially you will start, when you come out of your room, you will start feeling sudden cold shock, and after a certain time it will gradually reduce. Okay. So this cold shock you have to actually reduce, and you can reduce by wearing proper clothing when you are going out. Otherwise it will be difficult. Sometimes people, it may be dangerous sometimes. So we should take care of this sudden change in temperature. And another case, when the temperature increases suddenly, in that case cold receptors function. See, when the temperature increases, cold receptor is not giving any function, it is becoming zero. But if you see the warmth receptor, it suddenly increases. So this type of feelings, suddenly change in cold, suddenly change in temperature, your normal temperature to cold temperature, you can actually feel when you jump in a cold swimming pool. You will feel sudden cold shock, or else you are suddenly entering a hot chamber. So this type of situation, extreme situation, we have to actually protect ourselves through proper selection of clothing. Now, thermophysiological aspects, it's basically to do with the humidity, air speed, air temperature, radiant temperature, metabolic rate, and clothing insulation. So all these things we don't have any control. Air speed, we don't have any control. We can't control the humidity, we can't control the temperature, radiant position, we cannot control. And only two things we have some control, which is metabolic rate also we cannot control. We can control maximum our activity level. But if you see, all these aspects are not under our control. Depending on all these aspects, we have to select our clothing. We have to decide our clothing. Keep all these things constant. Suppose it's a wind speed is high, very high wind speed. So depending on the situation, we have to design our clothing. Like if it is high temperatures, we have to design. Okay. And if you see, this is the body core temperature core, and our skin, from our skin we release heat, moisture, okay, and which is through the clothing. Okay. And if you see our normal condition, the metabolic heat we generate is 80 to 90 watt. Normal heat we generate, and in high activity, and at high activity level, we can generate heat at the as high as more than 1 kilowatt. Okay, that's the level of heat we generate. And in sweating, if you see, it's 1 liter per hour. It's typically we if we walk, and a soccer player, he can actually generate as high as 2 to 2.5 liters per hour. So in total game, he normally releases 3 to 4 liters of liquid. So in this, liquid management is extremely important, and it is done through the clothing. Okay. And so if I ask you, what is the comfortable temperature? Can anyone tell? So let us be a little bit interactive. Can anyone tell what is the comfortable temperature? Anyone can anyone tell from the audience? From audience, can anyone respond to it?
Sir, the responses are from the chat box: 20 degrees, 36 degrees, 25 to 30 degrees.
25 to 30 degree or 36 degree.
Yes, yes.
36 degree, if it is there, will you be comfortable? At what temperature do we set our AC? Normally, this around 25 and 26 degrees Celsius. Okay. 25, 26 degrees Celsius, if we actually set, so if we normally people respond, it's at around 25, 26 degrees Celsius. But 36 degrees Celsius, the answer came because I know, because our body core temperature is around, say, 37 degrees Celsius. So typically, it is actually, as normally we say, if our body temperature or skin temperature is around 36, 37 degrees Celsius, why not 36 degrees Celsius? The answer is that our body actually generates metabolic heat. When we sit idle, it generates basically 40 to 60 watt. This heat we generate, and this heat has to come out from the body. And when we think it's 26, 27 degrees Celsius, our actual back of mind, our idea is that we are wearing one shirt or one t-shirt, okay? Simple. That's why we are telling it's a 25, 26 degrees Celsius temperature. And this is our body, okay? And what we are doing, we are wearing one cloth. This is our cloth. So if the body is 36 degrees Celsius and environment temperature is at 26 degrees Celsius, and heat has to come out from the body. For that, we need a temperature gradient. So 10 degree difference. That's why heat will come from the body to environment, because we are generating heat. That heat has to come out. And with our common perception that we are wearing one shirt, that shirt will have certain conductivity, and that will allow the heat at that rate. Okay? Now, if we are wearing, suppose now the room temperature was 25, 26 degrees Celsius. Now I am making the room temperature 0 degrees Celsius. Will you be comfortable? You will start feeling cold, because you will not be comfortable, because here instead of 26, you are 0 degrees Celsius. So at this high gradient, temperature gradient, you will start releasing heat at a very high rate. Quickly, you will start heating more than the rate you are generating. You are generating at the rate of, say, 50 watt rate, but you are releasing heat at a very high rate. So your body will start feeling cold. So the thing is that what will you do here? You have to reduce this rate of heat release. What you will do, you are wearing one thing, you will start wearing another layer or 3 layers. So you will, by increasing the layer, what you are doing, you are trying to reduce the heat flow rate to make it around, say, 40 to 60 watt rate. At that rate, which you are generating, if you are maintaining, you will be comfortable. Okay. So basically, the comfort is, the thermal comfort is the balancing of the heat. Whatever you are generating, the same rate if you release, then only you will feel comfortable. Now, the room temperature is 0 degrees Celsius. And I am not providing you extra cloth. What will happen? You will start feeling extremely cold. Now, at that condition, you are wearing one t-shirt, you have been placed in a room of temperature 0 degrees Celsius. Now, can anyone tell how will you maintain your, nothing is there. No other clothing is there. Can you keep yourself comfortable? Anyone? You can. Because you don't have any other way to reduce the clothing, reduce the heat flow rate, but you can, another way is left with you, you can generate more heat within your body. Instead of 40 to 60, you can generate. How will you do? You start jogging or you start dancing. You start doing activity. So instead of 40 to 60, you will start generating, say, 100 kilowatt, 100 watt. So which you are actually releasing that heat. Suppose you are releasing 100 watt. So if you could generate that heat, so you will be comfortable. So while designing a clothing, you must know your activity, and then you design your clothing for comfortable thermal sensation. Okay. Now, this is one example. I'll go quickly. Here, one person, a nude person, is actually being placed at ambient temperature of 23 degrees Celsius in a room. And your normal heat you are generating here, say 90 watt heat you are generating. And if you do calculate all the calculation, conductive heat through your body, from your body to environment, is 11 watt. Perspiration, if you calculate, it will give you 17 watt. Okay. And radiative heat if you are generating, it's a 133. So 133 plus 11 plus 17, which is much more than 90. That's why the person will start feeling cold. So that rate, if you want to reduce, he will need certain clothing. Okay. So all these calculations are there. You can calculate. But on the other hand, if you see a person is actually at the environment temperature of 45 degrees Celsius, the problem here is that your body is generating heat. You are receiving heat through conduction and radiation. So your body becomes very, very hot. So here one physiological activity starts. Your body starts sweating. You will start sweating. And through this sweating, the perspiration gets evaporated through the clothing to the environment, and that will take away the rest of the heat. If you don't perspire, the problem comes, you can get heat stroke. Someone can get heat stroke. So you'll see when people stop stop sweating, when sweat gland actually fails, then the condition comes, the person can get heat stroke. Okay. I'll just go quickly. Now, if we see the comfortable, now what is the comfortable environment? Now, comfortable environment, if you see, it's a 32 plus minus 1 degree Celsius is the comfortable sensation of the microclimate. We are not talking about the climate. We are talking about the microclimate. What is microclimate? We all know microclimate is between our skin and the clothing. The climate between our skin and the clothing, actually, which our body feels, our skin actually feels the microclimate, not the climate. So microclimate temperature, if we can maintain 32 plus minus 1 degree Celsius, and humidity, if we can maintain 50 plus minus 10% with certain air speed, then we'll be extremely comfortable. So our idea of any clothing is to achieve this temperature and humidity condition. If we go beyond this towards the, as far as the temperature is concerned, or maybe humidity is concerned, we will start feeling uncomfortable. Like we may feel uncomfortable at 32 degrees Celsius if our humidity is increasing. Like in, if you see the now at present in Delhi, it's highly humid, maybe 80–90% humidity. Temperature at present here may be around say 30 degrees Celsius sometime, okay? But still we feel very, very uncomfortable because of the humidity. So both these things are extremely important, and our clothing design and clothing material has to manage all this, okay? So these are the environment factor which we don't have control, as I've told. And based on these factors, knowing these factors, we have to design our clothing. So we cannot design a clothing common for everyone, okay, every condition. So for a particular condition, we have to design our clothing. And clothing insulation is our control. And personal factors, we have to also take care of this personal factor. Different person, they have their different metabolic system. So depending on this, that we have to design a clothing. A person who sweats very high at very high rate, for him we have to design a clothing in a different way. So I'll just go a little bit quickly here. Now metabolic heat is there. So at different temperature, our metabolism actually generates different types of metabolic heat. Now we have basically two types of heat loss. One is called dry heat loss, and which this is our body temperature, environment temperature. If it is around 5 degrees Celsius, our dry heat loss, it's extremely very high. So as we reduce the temperature, our dry heat from our body goes at very high rate, okay? So 150 watt rate, it is going at that rate. And as we go on increasing the temperature, okay, when it's becoming say around 36 degrees Celsius, which is close to 37 degrees Celsius, which is actually our skin temperature. Beyond that, if the environment temperature increases, then our body starts receiving heat, okay? And if you see the green line, it's an evaporative heat loss. Evaporative heat loss, our body starts sweating at the temperature around say 30 degree or 30 to 35 degrees Celsius. Our body starts sweating. But before that, we do sweat, we do actually release our water in the form of vapor. So this is the vapor insensible, which is called insensible perspiration. We release it in the insensible perspiration, okay? And after that, beyond that, that is evaporative heat loss, okay? So at different temperature, we have to design our clothing for a particular environmental condition. Our clothing, we should remember, it's comfortable for a particular environmental condition, okay? So I'll just go. Another aspect is that heat, the touch sensation, transient.
Sorry for interruption, little bit. We are just a little bit running out of time, sir. So
Okay,
just wind it up, then we will take a few questions.
Okay, I'll just.
Thank
so
you.
I have, I'll just stop quickly. This is the transient heat loss. Okay, as we are going little. So I'll just skip all this. Okay, and up. These are the liquid transmission or moisture vapor transmission. Okay. And then comes the psychological comfort. Okay, this is it, depending on the different psychological means. See, it's basically it's a complex linkage between the different sensation received by the brain, which evaluates the sensation and then weighs. Like if it is warm, how much it's what is the temperature, if it's a warm or cold. So this type of sensation it received, or maybe it's if it is color, it's what's the depth of the color. So this psychological filters are there. So there are different psychological laws of psychophysics are there. So I'll not skip. This is basically psychological rating which we do in word trial techniques. This is word trial technique where in a garment if we do test anything that is actually not reflecting the actual application, but if you wear a cloth and place the person in a particular environmental condition and particular activity level, then he will actually give the sensation, whatever sensation he is giving, and that gives you the word trial technique. It's very effective for particularly in sports science and very different high active zone. So word trial technique is very effective technique to decide clothing. And the thing is that it is said that science and everyday life cannot and should not be separated. Okay, so we should for anything we should actually try to see the science, even in clothing comfort, even in selection of clothing. So we should see the science, and we cannot think of any clothing comfort without science. So we have at every level, we have science, we have full-fledged course actually course running here, which is science of clothing comfort, where we deal with everything. Okay, all these things in detail. Okay, thank you. I had to stop here. Okay. If you have any question that you can.
Thank you so much, sir. We have few questions which you might like to respond, sir. The first question is by Fabia Rana, sir. And the question reads, what kind of clothing style or fabric material would you recommend for people who constantly work outdoors, considering current climate change?
Okay, that's as I told, you cannot design clothing, a particular clothing of all different types of environment. Like you have to be very specific. What you are trying to mention, suppose workwear. A person is actually trying to work in in front of, say, blast furnace. Okay, in extreme heat condition. The cloth which you will be wearing in that condition, it should deal with the heat protection, that you have to take insulating cloth, and at the same time you have to see that he will be sweating. So you have the sweat management activity has to be also there. So only thing is that you can design a clothing based on the specific requirement. Like a traffic police. For a traffic police, you have to design a clothing, or you have to select a cloth which will reflect the heat out. Okay, and also which will take out the moisture or humidity. A person, that the main problem is that a person who is working in a warm condition, the same clothing, if you give to a place where it's not that warm, then you have to actually, you cannot get the same level of comfort. And the activity, when you are designing cloth for high activity, you have to see that it's a liquid moisture management has to be there. And when it's a low activity, then you don't need to have liquid management. Okay? That's why it said for sports, cotton is best suitable for very comfortable cloth for normal temperature. But cotton is not suitable for high active clothing. Like for sportswear, we don't use cotton, okay, where we sweat.
We have another question, sir. And the question is from Anu. Her question reads that dermatitis is a serious problem
Yeah.
related to textile products. So, sir, is there any improvement in this rather than a ban or restriction in this dangerous chemical used in this?
Dermatitis actually it comes from your friction with the skin. So that it's a total entire. I have touched upon with a couple of slides, but it's entire information is available. Okay, and we can design clothing which will actually prevent our skin from any skin dermatitis, skin related problem. Actually, it comes with the skin friction with the skin fabric and skin friction. We can reduce the friction, and that this friction increases with the sweating. That's why if you feel when we sweat, we'll feel more and more rashes. That's because of the increase in friction, and that we can reduce by designing proper clothing structure and selection of fiber.
Thank you so much, sir. It is flooding with questions. Another question we would like to address, sir. It is from Mohit Patsa. And his question is, in a poor country like India, how can we ensure clothing requirements as per their need in our country?
Yes, basically, unfortunately, if you have to actually, if you want comfortable clothing, you have to give price. Okay, that's for sure. Okay, but definitely depending on our situation, our country's condition, we can design the clothing. There actually fashion designer can come into this picture. Okay, by designing proper garment or with a proper ventilation system, even with a normal clothing, normal fabric, one can design different comfort level. Actually, the clothing fit and clothing design is extremely important. By proper designing the ventilation system, one can with a normal clothing also you can to some extent increase the comfort level.
Yes, sir. We have another question from Padma Raj Kesri. And her question is, what will be the priority for a designer with so much frequent change in the climate? Is there any demand to have a clothing line adapted to climate change?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Basically, it's this type of demand is. I'll give you one example. One example is that like sports garment manufacturer like Adidas, Nike, and all this. That they actually they do survey, but like soccer player. Now, next World Cup, where it is going to happen, they know. Now they are trying to they follow up with the climatic system. Like last year, it was in Asian country. They know this. This is the situation of this is the climatic condition of that position, and what will be the humidity, what will be the temperature. Even they go up to the physiological condition of individual player, and they design the clothing. They design take the similar clothing fabric design and clothing design. And if they are going to some cold country, their design will be entirely different. Their selection will be entirely different. Okay, so at different level of you have to design clothing, comfortable clothing, you have to take care of few things. One is your physiological condition, activity level, your environmental condition. Then if you know these things, which I have told that we cannot control, then you design your clothing. Okay, you must have to take the situation. And the thing is that in India and even worldwide, fashion dominates everything. I'll tell you, you can sell a clothing, fashionable clothing, which will be extremely uncomfortable. Extremely uncomfortable. You will not be able to wear the type of dress you wear in a marriage ceremony. Normal course you will not be able to wear because it's extremely uncomfortable. That there comes, it's a psychological comfort. That aspect I have not touched basically. It's a psychological comfort. It's extremely important. It dominates everything. If you feel my cloth is extremely, you are looking smart, I will forget everything. I am feeling extremely warm, extremely uncomfortable, rash, and all these things coming, but I will still feel comfortable. I will wear. You will feel that sometime in extreme hot, I have seen people are wearing a suit and tie and all this thing, going for a meeting and all this. So
Yes.
that dominates basically. It's good.
Thank you so much, Dr. Das, for your enlightening lecture on different facets of comfort in the neurophysiological and psychological context, which leads to the aesthetic perception towards clothing. We are indeed very delighted to hear you, sir. And thank you so much. And we are looking forward to connect with you with several such sessions in future also. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks.
Now I would like to introduce our next speaker, Dr. A.S.M. Raja, Principal Scientist, Textile Chemistry, ICAR, Central Institute for Research on Cotton Technology, Mumbai. Dr. Raja has a teaching and research experience of 22 years. Sir has around 50 publications in national and international journals of repute. Along with that, Sir has many feathers to his cap, which includes 18 projects and 4 patents. Dr. Raja has majorly contributed to the field of textile science, and Sir has worked in developing an energy-efficient technology for the preparation of absorbent cotton in single bath for a decentralized sector, process protocol of Kasturi brand of cotton, sustainable dyeing process, eco-friendly mosquito repellent, finish for cotton garments and blankets, preparation of specially grade pulp from cotton linter for production of higher-end security paper, and diversified utilization of cotton stock for pellet and briquette making for energy application. Sir will be speaking on sustainable processing of cotton for fashion system. Now, I would like to request Dr. Raja to please address the gathering. Sir, now the panel is yours. Please take over it. Thank you.
Meeting. Thank you, Dr. Ranjan. Respected Madam, Dr. Indrani Singh, Dr. Annie, Dr. Dipyan, Dr. Rajiv Kumar, whom I have a contact. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You are absolutely audible.
So thank you for inviting me. I will be sharing my screen. Is it visible, sir?
Not yet, sir.
Not yet.
The screen is visible, but the PPT is not visible, sir.
1 minute. Now is it visible?
Not yet, sir.
1 minute.
can see-
I will again reset.
Yes, sir.
It is visible now, sir.
Is it visible?
Sir, can you please switch to full screen mode on your PPT? Yes, sir.
Okay. Good afternoon to all. My topic given is sustainable processing of cotton for fashion system. I am from Central Institute for Research on Cotton Technology, as introduced by Dr. Ranjan. So in this topic, I will be giving details about the cotton and cotton processing. You know, cotton has been the home of India. Our country has been the home of cotton textiles. So it is 8,000 years before Christ also. We cultivated cotton, and the cotton has been our part of the life. So so if you see the fiber scenario throughout the world, around 130 million metric tons of fibers are produced. It consists of both natural fibers or bio-based fibers as well as synthetic fibers, otherwise called as a fossil-based fibers. Out of that, 25 million metric tons is cotton. Other natural fiber like flax, linen, jute is 6 million metric tons. And wood-based fibers like viscose, rayon, all these things constitute 7%, and synthetic fiber constitute 75 million metric tons. It's not a percentage, it is a million metric tons. So if you see the overall global fiber scenario, cotton is still, even though it is 88,000 years old, still it is holding the major portion in the textile area, especially in the apparel textiles. If you see the global and Indian cotton production, there are 5-6 countries. They are the major producers of cotton. Like India, we are the major producer with the 6 million metric tons. China, United States, Pakistan, and Brazil. All these countries we are the major producers. Apart from that, nowadays Australia, Mexico, and Uzbekistan, all these countries also coming. Nowadays in African countries also cultivating good amount of cotton fiber. So total area, if you can see, 33.62 million hectares. Production is about 25 million metric tons. So yield varies depending upon the country. The countries like Australia, their per kg yield per hectare is approximately 2000 kg. In our country, it is 472 kg only. It depends upon the environmental condition and the type of varieties we are cultivating. So if you see our Indian condition, cotton sector in India, so around 9-10 states are predominantly cotton producing states like Gujarat, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh in central region, Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana in the northern region, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana in the southern region, Tamil Nadu also. So area wise, we are cultivating in the approximately 12 million hectares of land, and 6 million farm families are involved. Area wise, we are first in the world. Production, we are second. Sometimes we are also, last 2 years back, we were first in the cotton production. Consumption, we are the second after China, and we are also exporting good amount of cotton to the other countries. So previously in 18th century, we were the supplier of cotton to all the world, throughout the world. So if you see our Indian condition, so 60% of the apparel is made up of cotton, and 40% constitutes synthetic material. Due to our climatic conditions and all, our people, we prefer cotton as a primary fiber for our apparels, and followed by synthetic materials. But worldwide, if you see, synthetic material dominates with the 70% and cotton is 25%, because cotton is produced in only few countries throughout the world. So cotton value chain contributes very good contribution to the industrial output, GDP of our country, all these things. With this background, I am telling some details about the cotton. So cotton is a part of our daily life. most important fiber plant in the world and also a cash crop. It is anatomical cell for the cotton fiber is trichome. Each fiber is produced by the outer growth of the single epidermal cell. So fibers are nothing but hairs that grow out of the seed coats. So if you see the fibers, you know, it is coming from the cotton ball. Each cotton ball consists about 27 to 45 seeds, and each seed is will have the 10,000 to 20,000 fibers in the epidermis, in the outer coat of the seed. So it's a natural product. So if you see all these things, it has a lot of variations. Each seed also 20,000 fibers, 10,000 fibers, and each bowl has 27 to 45 seeds. So it all amount to lot of variation in the fiber properties. From the single bowl also, we will get a different type of fibers. And if you see the species, there are about this cotton is coming under the Gossypium species. So out in the Gossypium species, we have around 52 species of cotton in the world. And out of the 52 species, 4 cotton species are very predominant. Gossypium arboreum, one is that is our native cotton. We called as a Desi cotton also. Still, we are growing this Gossypium arboreum in our country. Next is Gossypium hirsutum. This is popularly known as American cotton or upland cotton. It is now dominating more than 90% of the world production. And third one is Gossypium herbaceum. It is also, we are only growing Gossypium herbaceum, especially in the Gujarat, Kutch area and adjoining Karnataka. And another last one is Gossypium barbadans. That is, it is like Egyptian cotton, Sea Island cotton. These are all comes under the Gossypium barbadans that constitute around 3 to 4%. So in our country, we are growing all the 4 types of cottons. So previously, when we got independence, only we used to grow only Gossypium arboreum, and the length was about only 22 mm. So afterward, due to the breeding and different research and development activities, now we are growing hirsutum cotton also, and herbaceum and barbadans. All the 4 varieties of cotton, species of cotton, we are growing in our country. So apart from the fashion point of view, so there are different nomenclatures are in the market, like BT cotton. So BT cotton is nothing but genetically modified cotton. This BT cotton was introduced during the year 2002. So previously, whatever cotton we were cultivating, a lot of pest attack was there, and farmers were not able to get the profit out of cotton cultivation. Then this BT cotton, transgenic cotton, was introduced by introducing a soil bacterium called Bacillus thuringiensis. That's why it is called as a BT cotton. BT cotton is nothing but a genetically modified cotton, transgenic cotton. That is there. So if you see the, as I told last time, Gossypium hirsutum, that almost 90% of the cotton, it is BT cotton is grown in our country mostly in 90% of the area. So remaining area, we are growing the non-BT cotton. Another term in the market is organic cotton. Organic cotton is nothing but the cotton produced without the use of any synthetic fertilizer, synthetic pesticide, or any chemical, and without transgenic technology. It should be a native. It should be a variety or hybrid, but without the it is produced without the use of any chemical fertilizer. And this is called as organic cotton. So in the market also, organic cotton, this term is very common. So it is as per the standard, organic cotton production standard, and it should be duly certified by a certification body. Now Texprocil is a certification body. They have to certify it, and then only, and also it is grown under a controlled condition without use of any chemicals. And other cotton available is colored cotton. So, you know, always cotton is considered as a pure white, but it is not like that. There are color cotton varieties are available. especially brown, green, blue, different types of color curtains are available. These curtains are naturally colored in nature, it is also grown time immemorial since 2500 BC itself. But the amount of color curtain produced is negligible. And already a lot of universities and research organizations, they are promoting this color curtain. This curtain also should be grown in a very controlled condition. Otherwise, this color curtain will contaminate the normal curtain, and the spots will be developed in the white curtain. So, but people are already cultivating it, and in the worldwide there are some quarters demand also there this for color curtain. So if you use color curtain, there is no need for processing. Directly you can use it only just by some washing is required, and then afterwards you can use it without any texture chemical process. So if you are all know aware about the cotton fiber structure, it is length is around 0.5 to 1.7 inch, or in the millimeter, if you tell, from 12 mm to 40 mm length is there, and the fineness is 12 to 20 microns, and strength is the 3 to 5 gram per linear, or otherwise we can call as multiply by 3. So 20 to 50 gram per text. It is 65 to 70% crystalline, and 30 to 35% amorphous. Chemically, it is a polymer of cello-bios unit, has a 1,4 beta glucoside molecular arrangement. So this presence of hydroxyl group in the cotton structure provide lot of different comfort and other properties, and easy dyeability, moisture, good moisture content, like 8% moisture content, which is very comfortable to the skin. All these some comfort properties it is providing. At the same time, due to the presence of this hydroxyl group, it is prone for creasing. So if you use it, that cotton, due to the formation of hydrogen bond, cotton textile is prone for creasing behavior also. So we can distinguish easily with the help of microscope cotton, which is a twisted structure, and if you see the cross section, it is a kidney bean shaped structure, which has all cell is like a normal other cell material. So in this lecture, I want to emphasize how you know all about the fiber properties. I want to give little bit more information so that this can be properly utilized by selection of the fiber for different material. So length is one important properties, fineness, strength, maturity, uniformity, short fiber content, brightness of the fiber, yellowness, color grade. All these properties are very much useful, and it determines the end product of the cotton product to be produced. And it is all these properties deciding the spinnability, fabric forming ability, and also dyeability. So whenever you are developing a new product from the cotton is a very good fiber. You can develop a very high-end product also, and very good products we can develop from the cotton. So these all the fiber properties will be tested by a single instrument. Nowadays only one instrument. Previously we were using the different instrument, like low volume instrument we used to call this thing. Afterwards now high volume instrument means in a single instrument we can test all the fiber properties within quickly. So previously for testing the one cotton sample, it took around 30 minutes to 2 hours. Now within 2-3 minutes, you can find out the cotton fiber quality. There are two instruments. One is HVA is commonly used. Another is spinning industries. They are using Advanced Fiber Information System, or AFIS. It will give some extra information like maturity and NEPs present in the cotton fiber. Based on these things, that process parameters can be optimized. So out of the major different fiber properties, fiber length is a very important one. It decides the spinnability. So these are the ranges of span length, or we are calling as upper half mean length. So 20 mm and below short, it will be useful for up to 10s count. 20 to 24.5 mm useful for 20s count. 25 to 27 mm 40s count. 30 up to 32 mm fiber can be used for making 16 count yarn and above 32.5 mm for 16 to 120 count. Here I want to emphasize that previously we had in our country only a short staple cotton, means 20 to 25 mm. From this cotton also by hand technique, people produced around 120 count yarn. You can muslin cloth and all are there. But as per the industrial setup available, spinning setup available, these are the possibility of relation between the fiber length and the yarn count that can be produced out of this cotton. But if you use the same cotton with the even short staple cotton also can be used for making a good yarn, provided if you want to change the system. And the uniformity index is the, as I told in the beginning, it is a natural fiber. Each fiber, each wool has a different variety. So uniformity index is a very important thing. So mostly cotton will have up to only 80-85% uniformity index. Some 20% variation will be there. So higher the uniformity, we can produce the stronger yarns. As I told, another thing is that cotton strength. Cotton strength also we measured by gram per tex. So from 21 gram per tex to 40 gram per tex, cotton strength is available. So based on the strength, we can produce, we can decide our process and other things. Another important thing in the case of cotton is micronair. So here cotton micronair is nothing but a combination of fineness and maturity. Because cotton has a lot of variation, only if you measure the fineness, it will not be giving a true picture. So in the cotton, it is in a micronair, we are called a micronair term, it is the fineness and maturity is calculated. So in the case of micronair also, from 3 micronair to 6 and above micronair, coarse cottons are available. So best range is 3.8 to 4.2, normally called as average. So whenever the maturity is high, then cotton will be coarse. The cotton mic with more than 5 is very difficult to spin, and more than 6, 7 are mainly used for making a surgical cotton production, like absorbent cotton wool, which is used as a medical textile in hospital for absorbing body fluid. And very fine fibers like swing cotton and all available in our country. From this very fine fiber, we can make a yarn of 120 count, and that very fashionable, very thin fabric and good fabric can be made from the 3 to 3.9 micronair fibers. So you can also see the different brands of cotton available in the world. So if you see the two important world cotton, if you tell, it's a Pima cotton and Giza cotton. These are the two brands. So in the fashion also, this fabric is made up of Pima cotton and Giza cotton. These cottons are nothing but a extra long staple cotton, where the length of the fiber is more than 35 mm and the strength also 40-42 gram per tex. Micronair is in micronair in the range of 4 micronair. And these two cottons are from Gossypium barbadense variety. These cotton, because of the high length and good strength properties, this cotton can be made into a high fineness yarn, like 100 count, 120 count, or 80 count yarn with good properties. In our India also, we are also producing our own ELS cotton. Like a Swin, DCH32, all these varieties are there. Properties are same like Pima and Giza cotton, with the added advantage of our Indian ELS cotton is whiteness is very good compared to Pima or Giza cotton, where they are very little bit yellow in color. Our Indian cotton is very good, but the production is lesser than the demand. So our industries, they are importing these two cotton from Pima from USA and Giza from Egypt for our demand. But as a fashion designer, you can use our own ELS cotton, and we can develop a very good product, a very fashionable product with our own ELS cotton. Apart from that, average Indian cotton, if you see, this is the 27 to 29 mm, you will be the staple length, that is called as a upper half mean length. And with a very good strength also, 31 gram per tex, and micronair 4 to 4.5. Our Indian cotton mostly Gossypium hirsutum and Gossypium arboreum also there. Herbaceum cotton will be around 25 mm with 4 gram per tex. Now these are the different cottons available. So each type of cotton has a very own good application, like cotton with the 22 mm staple length can be used for making a very good denim fabric with the high porosity, all these things. Instead of normally Comber also used, and our own cotton also can be used for making a good denim out of this short staple cotton. And long staple cotton, like a medium long staple cotton like a Sankar Sikh or 6 or all these things with the 29 mm can be used for producing 60s count yarn, and a very good fashionable product can be made. That is about the cotton, as I told in the beginning. That is about the basic some of the properties and applications of cotton. So next, in the case of our sustainability, that is my topic. So how sustainability can be produced or implemented in our textile value chain. So all these things are, sustainability is to maintain or to improve the quality of life while living within the carrying capacity of the ecosystems. We should use we should use our resources judiciously, so that our future generation will not affect due to our usage. There are 3 principles of sustainability. One is environmentally, it should be viable. So previously we used to tell eco-friendly textiles. So eco-friendly textiles, only we concentrated on eco-friendliness of the product, only how it is affecting the environment. But afterwards, that's why this new term sustainability comes. So sustainability is a combination of environment, social and economical. So previously, suppose you have developed one process which is a very environmental friendly. If it is not acceptable, if it is not economically feasible, then there is no use. That is why this sustainability concept has come, which encompasses all the 3 aspects of environmental, society and economics. And also another term used in the generally used by all the manufacturers nowadays, sustainability and circular economy. Circular economy is nothing but here the resources will continuously be in the production system. So after manufacturing some goods, suppose in case of textiles, so we are manufacturing a very good fabric, then after consumption and use, we are throwing it. The fabric is going as a waste. But circular economy, what it means, so waste should not be coming out from the system. Waste should be upcycled or recycled into the resources for the manufacturing process. That is the simple thing, circular economy. So nowadays, if you see the cotton also, previously cotton only polyester was recycled, polyester has been recycled. Nowadays, all efforts have been done, even all the cotton material used to goods also can be shredded into fiber, and again it can be reused and for producing very good product, a recycling product. So you can, the denim stores, you can see they are ready to purchase, and the old denim materials, and they are giving around 10%, 20% discount on the new denim material. And all the international brand like H&M, all they are having some policy. So within 2024, they should use around 20% of the recycled material. They have fixed the target of around 50% by 2030. So by 2030, 50% should be the recycled material and 50% will be the virgin. So everybody, they have put all the major brands, they have put target for their circular economy or a sustainability concept, how much recycled material will be used. So a lot of research also have been done by different organizations, including our institute. So from our studies at present, as such, we found that minimum at present 30% of the recycling material can be mixed with the 70% of the virgin cotton, and we can produce a yarn equivalent to the virgin cotton yarn. And also we had a process of developing some treatment to the recycled cotton material, so that the strength is actually problem is that using the recycled cotton is strength is reduced during the usage because of biodegradable nature and also during the processing. So we are developing some treatment so that the recycled cotton fiber strength will be improved and it can be again put it into the manufacturing system. There are different related terms you can see in the government this websites, carbon neutral, carbon positive, net zero carbon emissions, net zero emissions, all denote same thing. So whatever, suppose carbon neutral means that carbon dioxide released into the atmosphere due to the company activities is balanced by equivalent amount of being removed. So how much we are releasing, how much carbon is releasing, then the same amount we have to be removed from the atmosphere. Like climate positive is nothing but activity goes beyond achieving net zero carbon emission to create environmental benefit by removing additional carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. So for example, if you are using more energy, then a lot of carbon will be introduced in atmosphere. For that, that industries are cultivating different forest so that the carbon usage and carbon capture will be both are equilibrium, then the industry is carbon neutral. So as a fashion designer, you can source the raw material from the industries which are more carbon neutral, which are more climate positive, and you can advertise in your garment and fashion material. So this is sustainably sourced material. It is that a particular garment is produced from the sustainably sourced material. How much source is there? By using a blockchain technology, then you can trace the amount of carbon utilized for production of that particular goods and all, so that people will have the preference to purchase the material from the carbon neutral industries. So this is a basic thing why we need a sustainability, why people are always nowadays people are much worried about the sustainability because of that all these factors. So global warming, greenhouse effect, ozone layer depletion, change in the climate, rise in the sea level, natural calamities, all they are telling it is because of the changes in the ecosystem due to the sustainability issues. So this is the textile value chain. From the fiber, we are making in the yarn and then weaving. It is converted. Yarn is converted into fabric, like weaving through weaving, knitting, or non-woven production techniques. And then the material is processed, chemically processed for dyeing, bleaching, and other things. And then garment is made and converting unit is made. This is the whole value chain. So each and every process from the fiber itself, from the sourcing of fiber to processing, spinning, weaving, processing, and garment manufacturing, everywhere you can introduce the sustainability, how the process, how much energy we are using for the particular process, how much water is used, how much chemical is used. If you are reducing the chemical usage, water usage, energy usage, then you can tell that process is sustainable. So in the case of in this topic, I will only cover the textile processing aspect. So textile processing aspect, we can have some 4 point of view. So use of natural based materials for processing, like enzymes, natural dyes, natural finishing material like aloe vera gel. All these things are used as a finishing material. And the next is water conservation technique. So how water usage can be reduced from the textile processing. Next is energy conservation technique, and last one is a source reduction. That is alternate. Some of the chemicals are very hazardous. It creates a lot of problem to the human being as well as environment. So that that has to be alternate chemical has to be used for that process. These are the different approaches for sustainable textile chemical processing. So in the case of enzymatic process, so a lot of enzymes are nowadays used in the textile processing. So the almost this de-sizing process nowadays, amylase, that is the enzyme, that process is completely removed the old normal desicing process where hydrochloric acid or sulfuric acid, these two acids were used for desicing purpose. So nowadays, all the almost economically viable and industrially adaptable amylase bleaching process has been amylase desicing process has been developed, and industries, most of the industries are using. Next one is for scouring of cotton. So normally scouring and bleaching, these two processes are carried out in a single stage. So, but only for scouring enzymes are available. That is a pectinase based process. Still, a lot of research work is going on to develop a bleaching enzyme. So some enzymes are available, but it is not effectively. It is not effective for this for bleaching of the material. Apart from cotton, if you for wool shrink proofing can be done using enzymes, and some of the research studies are there where enzyme treatment can be used for improving the dye uptake also. The another important enzyme used in the textile value chain is catalase for bleach cleanup. This enzyme will remove the residual hydrogen peroxide present after the bleaching process is completed, because residual peroxide will create a lot of irregular crop dyeing issues. It will create uneven dyeing and patchy dyeing. So after bleaching is over, then this catalase enzyme treatment is given to remove the residual peroxide. And lot of enzymes also available in the case of synthetic fiber to increase the moisture content. And denim processing nowadays, they are advocating completely enzymatic process, like a cellulase enzyme is used instead of pumic stones. All these things are there. Denim processing, it is advanced. The denim industry is always using the advanced techniques. And now that whole sort of enzymatic processing is available for complete processing of the denim material. In the case of natural materials, natural dyes, again, a lot of renewed interest has come. Nowadays, very good in the natural dyes with the some fixing agent are available in the market. So these things are again picking up. And another important thing is biosurfactants. Here also a lot of research work is going on, and some companies have come up with the biosurfactants instead of the synthetic based surfactant. So biosurfactants are used. Natural product based finishing like aloe vera gel is there. Different natural products also there. Now they are applying on the cotton textile material for a different finishing material. Recently, some companies have come up with some mineral finishing, which will give the cooling effect to the cotton fabric. So if you touch it, it will feel the cool finish. That type of things are coming up. In the case of pollution, if you see, these are the textile processing. It is always water and chemical based things. So a lot of effluent will be generated, and this effluent will have the pollution load. So, so the major thing in the wet processing is the usage of water. So if you see the water consumption, so suppose one textile mill producing 10,000 kg per day, capacity consumes 2 million liters of water. Means 1 kg, around 20 liters of water they are using it per day. So if you see the large textile processing mill, the requirement of water is very huge, and the water also, we need a fresh water. Now we cannot use salty water or any water for our processing. We need a fresh water for processing, textile processing. So there are different, so these are the water requirements for desicing, scouring, bleaching, and mercerization. If we can see that scouring and bleaching process, these processes are consuming more amount of water for these things. So, you know, water is used for a solvent for dissolution, as a washing material, as a medium for processing. All these things, water is used. So water is essential, but we have to judiciously use, and a lot of new processes, sustainable processes have come up where the water requirement can be drastically reduced. So cotton as such, cotton is considered as a more water consuming textile material. So it depends upon the use of how much material to liquor ratio. Suppose 1 kg, suppose how many liters of water you are using. So previously, if we can see, the MLR ratio is 1:10 to 1:15. During that time, the amount of water required for processing 1 kg is 80 liters to 200 liters. But nowadays, due to the advanced techniques and modern machineries, the MLR ratio has been reduced to 1:5, where only 1 kg of cotton material requires around 40 liters of water. Nowadays, even very ultra low liquor machines also available in the market, and many industries, they are now using ultra low liquor ratio machines, so that the water can be drastically reduced. So this already covered. So dyeing also water is used. So developments, lot of developments are carried out in the dyeing for reducing the water and other chemicals. So, so cotton is mostly dyed with the class of dye called reactive dye and wet dyes. These are the two dyes, direct dyes. These are the three dyes are predominantly used. Out of that, more than 70% of the cotton goods are dyed with the reactive dye because of good brightness properties and good fixation properties. All these things, these reactive dyes are used. Reactive dyes are very good, but only problem is they can that percentage of exhaustion is only 70 to 80%. So remaining 20% dye will be wasted, will be in the effluent only. So we have to treat that, remove the dye from the effluent. And also this dyeing of reactive dyes require a lot of addition of electrolyte, that is salt. So approximately 1 kg material requires around 300 to 400 grams of sodium chloride or sodium sulfate, glauber salt for dyeing. So a lot of developments are there where the salt usage can be reduced. Salt as such, it is a non-hazardous material, but it will increase the TDS of the effluent, and as per the public Central Pollution Control Board norm, TDS should be less than 2000 ppm. So normally in the reactive dye bath or reactive dye industries, so the TDS will be around 15,000 ppm. So it has to be a lot of treatment have to be done to reduce the TDS from 15,000 ppm to 2000 ppm. So how to reduce the salt also there. And also new dyes have come up in which that the exhaustion percentage can be 80 to 90%. So the dye also will not be wasted. These are some of the techniques used in the processing. So all the textile industries zero liquid discharge has been implemented, in which all the effluent should be treated, and the treated water has to be reused. That is the zero liquid discharge ZLD technique. People, why they are hesitant to adopt this technique is that lot of treatments, like primary different treatments have to be conducted to make the effluent into usable water. Sometimes the processing steps are very high for the effluent treatment compared to the production process, and it is also little costly. Because of this thing, zero liquid discharge is not adopted by some industries, but people are slowly they are adopting it. And we also tried different, instead of fresh water, we also tried to use seawater with some treatment for dyeing, but still it is under experimental stage only. We have developed the same type of material from our normal water as well as the treated seawater by a different technique. That's about water usage. And as I told you, the last approach is chemical substitution or for source reduction. So there are sustainable materials, alternative materials are available with us compared to the conventional chemicals, like starch can be replaced with the polyvinyl alga, PVA, hydrochloric acid can be replaced with the amylase, sodium hydroxide can be replaced with pectinase. So nowadays, kerosene also, previously kerosene was used in a large quantity in especially in the printing mills. And so now that also completely removed with the acrylate based things. Acetic acid was used for neutralizing, that was removed, substituted with the formic acid. All these things are happening, and lot of nowadays industries also, cotton processing industries also adopting these type of new techniques and new methodologies and eco-friendly and sustainable chemicals for their processing. So because of all these things, cotton processing now is more sustainable and than any other fiber. Cotton is inherently, it is a biodegradable. It is a natural fiber. Socially, it is very important. It is giving livelihood to more than 40 million people, and it is economically affordable. So compared to other fibers, it is cost wise also it is very affordable. Because of all these things, cotton is more sustainable, and it should be promoted in all type. Cotton can be converted into any type of fashion material. Different types of cottons are available, especially in our country. We have a whole range of cotton. From that cotton, we can develop different fashionable materials. These are the machineries used for processing. As I told, nowadays 1:2 also, material liquor ratio with 1:2 also available. These are some of the commercial names. This is not only mentioned here. There are a lot of many machinery suppliers are available who can supply ultra low liquor ratio dyeing machine or processing machine for cotton. Finally, I want to put these slides that sustainability is not only responsibility of only particular people. So mostly this textile processing, textile spinning, these people are blamed. They are not following the processing. So it is the responsibility of the dye stuff manufacturers, chemical manufacturers, chemical suppliers. So these people also, there also we have to supply the good sustainable chemicals and non-hazardous chemicals. And processors also, they should be put a lot of efforts to introduce sustainability in their processing. Fashion designers, they have to promote the material which is produced by a sustainable manner. Labeling, testing, buyers also, it is very much required. Nowadays, buyers are only a price, they worried about price. Suppose sustainable processing, initially the sustainable products are a little bit costlier than the conventionally produced material, but buyers also, they have the responsibility to promote the sustainability in the this system, whole system. So these are the conclusion. So sustainable innovation in fibers and process, lot of things are already developed, and new processes are also coming up. And also a lot of environmental standards also, like GOTS and other things are available. Our country also, we are also developing our own global organic textiles, that equivalent standard for our industries. And also in the cotton quality also, a lot of government has introduced a lot of things to ensure the quality of cotton for the textile processors. And recycling also nowadays very common. So cotton fiber, cotton fabrics are again started. We have started recycling, and new technologies have been developed. New processes are developed for the recycling of cotton into good products. The ultimate aim is that zero waste textiles. So whatever things are there developed in these things, it will not be, there won't be any waste in the textile cotton value chain. With these things, I thank you, the organizers. If any question is there, then I'm very happy to answer.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an informative session. We have one question from Mr. Padmaraj Keshari. He wants to ask, what is value chain?
Value chain means, suppose from production side, from suppose cotton is produced from the farmer's farm gate to final garment stage. So this, every stage we are adding value to the fabric. So suppose fiber is there. So fiber we are processing into yarn. So we are adding value to the fiber. So yarn is the value added product. So yarn is converted into fabric. So again we are adding the value. So fabric is converted into garment. So every chain we are adding the value. So what is the value chain? That is the value chain concept. So from fiber to final product. That is called as a value chain.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insightful lecture. which covered all the area of cotton production and sustainability in our country from a panoramic view, which indeed was a very eye-opening discussion for all of us. Thank you so much. We
Thank
would be delighted to stay connected with you in future as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
For the participants, the link of the quiz for day 1 has been posted in the chat box. You are requested to respond to it by the end of the day. Please check it. Here concludes the sessions for day 1. For day 2, our esteemed speakers, Professor Dr. Vandana Bhandari, Dr. Vinod Kadam, and Mr. Akshay Tholia will be joining us. We shall meet again tomorrow at 10 o'clock sharp. Thank you.